Chapter 2 Atmosphere. An atmosphere is a layer or a set of layers of gases surrounding the Earth. The lower part of the atmosphere is much denser than the upper part. Density of air decreases with the increase of height. As the height increases, the air density decreases. When warm winds blow, it increases the temperature of that place. Like, for example, the hot wind, which we call Lu, blows through Rajasthan. It also passes over Delhi, making it very hot during the summers. Likewise, when cold wind blows over a place, it lowers the temperature of that place, making it cooler. Thus, we can conclude by this that winds cause changes in weather. Air moves from high pressure area to low pressure area. The density of air causes cold air to sink while the warm air rises. Rising warm air reduces the atmospheric pressure of the place, while sinking cold air increases pressure. Composition of atmosphere. Atmosphere is composed of permanent gases, water vapor, dust particles, smoke, and pollens. The gas which we find in abundance in Earth's atmosphere is nitrogen. The atmosphere contains 78.03% of nitrogen, 20.95% of oxygen, 0.93% of argon, 0.03% of carbon dioxide, 0.01% of hydrogen, and 0.05% of other gases. Water vapor represents a small, but it is the significant constituent of the atmosphere. It varies from 0.02% to 0.03% by volume. Factors on which air pressure depends. The atmospheric pressure depends on three main factors. Number 1. As we move in the higher altitude, we find temperature is decreasing. This is because the temperature of the atmosphere decreases with the increase of height. The average lapse rate is a drop of about 6.4 degrees Celsius for every 1 kilometer in increased height. The lapse rate is the rate at which an atmospheric variable, normally temperature, in Earth's atmosphere falls with altitude. A diagram on the right showing decrease in temperature with increasing height. Number 2. Temperature. Temperature differ in places which are close to large water bodies and those far away from them. As the temperature rises, the air expands and becomes less dense and exerts less pressure. Thus, because of this, the equatorial region has low pressure. Number 3. Water vapor. Warm air holds more water vapor within it, and cold air holds less vapor. Water vapor is less dense than dry air. If both have the same temperature, the addition of water vapor decreases the overall density of the air and lowers its pressure. On the basis of the structure, the atmosphere can be divided into 5 layers. They are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere or ionosphere, exosphere. We will discuss in details. Troposphere. The word troposphere is derived from the Greek tropos, meaning mixing or change or turn, and sphere meaning earth. It is the lower layer of Earth's atmosphere and is also where nearly all weather conditions take place. This layer contains dust particles and water vapor which mixes with the other gases. The average height of the troposphere is about 14 km above sea level but varies from place to place. In this sphere, temperature remains steady with 80 degrees Celsius. The upper boundary is called tropopause, which is the border between the troposphere and stratosphere. You can see in the diagram aeroplanes fly in this layer of atmosphere. An important feature of troposphere is that there is decrease of temperature with the increase of altitude at a mean lapse rate of about 6.4 degree Celsius per kilometer. Stratosphere. It is the second major layer of Earth's atmosphere just above the troposphere. It extends on an average between 13 km and 50 km. The upper boundary is called stratopause, which is the border between the stratosphere and mesosphere. There are no storms or turbulence here to mix up the air. The stratosphere contains approximately 19% of the Earth's total atmospheric gases. The stratosphere is important for man's life as it contains the ozone layer, which absorbs the harmful ultraviolet radiations which emitted from the sun, and hence a region or zone found in this layer of atmosphere is called ozonosphere. Also, this layer is convenient for commercial jet aircraft to fly in the lower stratosphere to avoid the turbulence which is common in troposphere below. Mesosphere. The word mesosphere is derived from Greek mesos, meaning middle, and sphere, meaning earth. It is the third layer of the atmosphere, directly above the stratosphere. It lies at an altitude of some 80 km above the Earth's surface. The upper limit of the mesosphere is mesopause. In this region, silvery white noctilucent clouds clearly visible in high latitudes during summer nights. Noctilucent clouds meaning clouds at very high altitude that reflects sunlight long after sunset. Thermosphere. It is derived from the Greek word thermos meaning heat. It is the layer above the mesosphere. Temperature increases rapidly until it approaches something like 100 degrees Celsius at noon. This layer protects our planet by absorbing harmful radiation. Radiation causes the atmosphere's particles in this layer to become electrically charged, enabling radio waves to be refracted. So this layer is called ionosphere as it is ionized by solar radiation. This layer is important in long-distance radio communications. Exosphere. It is derived from the Greek word exo, meaning outside, external, or beyond. It is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere of the Earth. The gases that can be found In the Earth's exosphere are hydrogen and helium. Importance of the atmosphere. Insulator. The atmosphere protects Earth like a big blanket of insulation. It protects from the direct rays of the sun and keeps the overall temperature of the Earth fairly steady. Pressure. The atmosphere has weight and exerts pressure of 1034 gram per square centimeter at sea level. As the air inside a man had the same pressure as the atmospheric pressure is applied on our body from outside, so man does not collapse under the weight of the atmosphere. Basic material of life. Elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, ozone, water vapor, regulation of air temperature, hygroscopic nuclei, and colorful sky are the basic material of life which are vital for the development and maintenance of life on Earth. Hygroscopic nuclei meaning microscopic particle of sulfur dioxide, salt, dust or smoke in the free air onto which water vapor may condense to form droplets. Thank you.